urban combatives, what is it?
Urban combatives is pure self-protection. It's every principle, concept or skill set that has proven itself on the real fight stress. And what is fight stress? Fight stress is pain, fatigue, fear, adrenaline, confusion and disorientation.
What makes it different to other sports, material arts or something like this?
The difference is, first of all, we deal with emotional content and intention behind everything. So if somebody is, for example, approaching me on the street and I cannot avoid and escape and de-escalate, how much more different would it be than training in a dojo on a boxing bag, for example? So you have, first of all, you need to deal with the emotional content. So you have to keep the head right and you need to be proactive with this. So, but it also is, the difference also with martial art is that it's a compressed toolbox with gross motor skill only, because of the emotion and the adrenaline kicking in, your heart rate will go up and your complex motor skill, for example, boxing combination and martial arts stuff, will deteriorate. It becomes worse. So that's why we only focus on the gross motor toolbox that is left in this dynamic. So it's only big motion and motivated and driven by mindset and attitude, aggression on the switch. You can only be in one emotional state at a time. They say nobody is fearful when angry. That's why we switch on the aggression when we need to deal with violence and switch it off. So we do it reasonable and necessary, but this allows us to control this emotional dynamic. That's the difference that makes a difference.
And who could do this? There are not a lot of women here. Is it for men? Is it for all? Is it for trained people like you, or is it for not so trained people like me?
In essence, it's designed for everybody because it's a small toolbox that is easy to understand, easy to remember under real fight stress, and also designed for everybody. The problem is it attracts people that are already training because they want to search for the stuff that works under the real fight stress dynamic. But it is literally designed for everybody. I wish there were more female coming in, but the intention behind it makes it also not so attractive because it's so much out of your comfort zone. If you get used to it and you get desensitized by the aggression on the switch and also the emotions you need to deal with under real fight stress on the street, or if you have to deal with real violence, you will grow from this. You will step out of the comfort zone and you will grow, and at one point it becomes part of you, and now you can use your stuff under the real fight dynamic. So it's really unattractive if you look at it. It's too much aggression on the switch, but you have to become the predator. You choose, you want to be the prey or the predator. We want to make predators in the worst case scenario, if I cannot avoid an escape and de-escalate.
But let's think about a daily situation on the street.
Yes.
How are the people prepared when something wants you to do bad things to you?
Because we train scenario, we also pressure test scenario. So we make you really tired, for example, and we mimic fight stress. And because you have to understand, normally now we are in our cognitive part of our brain, there's our frontal lobe. When adrenaline hits your bloodstream, you will go to your limbic system and you do only things out of emotions and instinct. You can simulate this in a degree by making you really tired, making you spin to simulate confusion and disorientation, and now you train. It's for the advanced student. But for example, if we train intimidation training and we scream each other in the face, and you do it on a Tuesday night, and it happens on a Saturday night for real, you know by now what it is because you train it once a week. If the first time you experience this on the street, it will make you capitulate, and now you become victim, you see? So it's all about desensitization, it's all about training, get comfortable with the uncomfortable and build people up. And it's the good thing about this is because they step out of their comfort zone in training, at one point they become more confident because we build up people, and this changes their body language profile. So they truly become more confident, so they don't get victim selected anymore. So it's a circle. Because of training, they don't get the problems and they can leave the ego at the door. Somebody is insulting me and I can leave my ego intact, that's fine, but if I have to swallow my ego a little bit so I can go home safe, that's the best, right? It's about self-protection. Also, the best thing, what we teach in urban combatives, is the awareness. And it's seeing the problem before it's becoming a problem. If I see the problem and I can get gone, that's the best self-protection. But what if I cannot avoid an escape? Now I need to deal in an effective way with aggression on a switch so I can deal with the problem. So if somebody deemed you as a prey, he thought wrong. All of a sudden, you're a predator now, you do what's reasonable and necessary and you get home safe. That's the point.
Okay, thank you. Last question for me personal. I have nothing to do with this, but I saw the training. Is it right that the first hit is the most important? So it seems to me.
Exactly, yes.
One hit and then the opponent
Yeah.
has to go down?
Again, what we're training civilians here, so what you want to do is reasonable and necessary. So let's say I have a wall in my back, I cannot avoid an escape. If I need to hit you first, because there's other options, I could push and run, but let's say I cannot do this, and I hit him first, I'm attaching, because we attach for a reason, because if I knock him out cold, I want to control his descent. I don't want to kill him, I want to protect myself. So if I knock him out cold, people die on the street because they get knocked out, and in this knocked out state, they land on the concrete. And you want to prevent this. So we hit and we grab, and let's say I feel his body weight slumping, I control the descent because I don't want to kill him, and then I put him in recovery position. But let's say I hit him and grab him and I'm still fighting with me, and I'm going to hit him again and hit him again. Let's say it's not enough. Now I'll grab him and knee him in the groin, for example, and now he's still fighting, snatch him on the floor. Now I hear what's reasonable and necessary. If I want to walk away and now he's reaching for a knife, now I will crush the ankle. Now it's reasonable and necessary. So there's a build-up. Yes?
Okay, I understand.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. You're welcome.
Nice day.
Yeah.